No.
Great morning, great morning, great morning, great morning, great morning. Hello. Great morning to each and every one of you. Great morning. Let's keep the cameras on. Great morning. Hello. Great morning. Really quick, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started. Before we go ahead and start with this. What is it? Turn Up Tuesday. I want to know where everybody's located. If you can please tell me where you are located. I want to know your name, your team affiliation, where you're calling from. I want to know your name, your team affiliation. We got to get y'all woke up. It is 7:30 where I'm at, and I am excited and happy and grateful that God gave me another chance to do this thing, this so-called life again. So real quick, you all should get excited about that. You don't have to type it. I want to hear some feedback. Let me hear where you guys are located. I want to hear your name and team, your name and your team affiliation, what city you're calling from. Right now. Great morning. Let's go.
Benny Barnes, Georgia, Leo's team.
Welcome, Benny. Welcome, Benny. Who else we have?
Georgie Gallardi in South Haven, Mississippi. I'm in Jen Cormier's group.
Awesome. Welcome. Who else we have? Welcome. Y'all can come off.
Imani, St. Louis, Missouri.
Powerhouse. Welcome. Great morning. Come on, y'all. Wake up.
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, representing that Powerhouse.
It's the belief for me, baby.
Crystal White out of Brandon, Mississippi, representing the Powerhouse.
Brandon, Mississippi. Okay, welcome.
Judy.
Got Dylan Denite from Hamlet, North Carolina.
Florida.
Good morning, Wanda Brown from Los Angeles, California. I'm on Corey's team.
California in the building. Let's go.
Bethany Vaughn, Miami, Florida, your future advisory group.
Stephanie in Miami. Welcome. Who else we have?
Grand Rising, Doc G from Virginia, Powerhouse.
What's up, Doc? Great morning. Y'all wake up. Let me know where you're calling from. Let's go.
You know you got a wild in the building, baby. And you know this
man. What's up, Maxwell? Let's go. Where you guys located?
Takara from Virginia.
Takara. Okay, great morning. Y'all don't have to wait on nobody. It's a roll call. Let's go. Let me know where you guys are calling from.
Sherry, Colorado.
Judy from Florida.
Welcome.
Renee,
Who else?
Renee Jones, Charlotte, North Carolina.
Welcome. William Jones, Mount Juliet, Tennessee. David Price.
Tennessee in the building. Welcome. Some of y'all still asleep. I would not understand. Let's go.
Nancy Gaines, Philadelphia.
Welcome, Nancy. Let's go. Who else do we have? Where you calling from? What's your name?
Sherry from Colorado.
Sherry from Colorado. Okay, so we're gonna pause for a minute. I think y'all are being a little bit too polite. Too polite. This is not a wait my turn. So guys, I'm gonna show you guys. I need somebody to go immediately after me. All right. I'm gonna show you how to do it. You guys know how to do a roll call. I don't know why. Maybe y'all still asleep. It is 7:30 where I'm at. So if you're on Eastern time, shame on you. So I'm gonna do this real quick. And I need somebody help me out to go immediately after me. So I'm doing this real quick. Great morning. My name is Sheena Michelle out of Brandon, Mississippi, representing that Powerhouse. It's a belief for me. Let's go.
Colorado, Jen Cormier group.
Tampa, Powerhouse.
Yeah. All right. Okay, fantastic. We're gonna work on that. Some of y'all, I don't know, maybe y'all still asleep. Great morning. If I don't know, I know it's Eastern time where some of you all and the bank is open, okay? So we all in the bank ministry, and some of y'all bank is closed, some of y'all bank is closed. And that's what I want to talk about this morning. Y'all grab a pen and paper, because this right here, this is, I'm hoping the information that I'm going to provide to you is going to change your life this morning. How many of you all need needs your life to be changed right now? Raise your hand if you need your life to be changed right now. So raise your hands. I don't see some hands raised, but I need somebody to contest, to say, you know what, I need my life to be changed. And I'm hoping that this information that I'm going to provide you this morning is going to be life changing. All right. Before we get into it, I need you all to grab a pen and paper. Grab a pen and paper. Let me see if I can. I don't want to mute everybody only because. All right. Have a good day. Love you. See you later. Be careful on the road. Yeah, my daughter's taking my daughter to school, my baby girl to school for the first time. Y'all, please, I need my life to make sure it don't change from this moment until she gets to school. Okay, just lead the road to be safe on her way for my oldest daughter, who's 17, taking my youngest daughter, who's 4, to school this morning, so I can be able to talk to you guys. Y'all, do me a favor, make sure you are looking down on your phone to make sure that you are muted. But I do want at some point need some audience participation. But look just down on your phone. Guys, I believe, first of all, again, let me say who I am. My name is Sheena Michelle Adams, partner here with Senior Life. And so, guys, just look down on your phone so that you're making sure that you're not disturbing. I'm about to come to church this morning. All right. And so if you ever been to church, y'all know that when the pastor talking, you can't have too much noise. We're gonna have the hostess. Y'all know the people who the host to come in and make sure y'all be quiet. The ushers, we don't want to usher anybody out this morning, but we're about to come to church this morning. Grab a pen and paper so you can take some notes. I want to go ahead and pay homage what homage is due. I definitely got a shout out to my husband, who's co-founder of Phase Where Group. I am, I will, I must. I definitely have to thank, especially have to thank him for allowing me to be me, to allow me to be who God called me to be. And that is not an easy thing to do, allow people to be who they are, and accepting that as well. So super shout out to my husband. Shout out to everyone in the Powerhouse. It is definitely the belief for me. Shout out to Mr. David Price. Sir, we appreciate you for everything that you, man, I appreciate you for showing me how to get better in my marketing skill, man. That's the best of the best right there. So super shout out to you, Mr. David Price. And man, we wouldn't be here, if Mr. Doug Price, if he didn't say, Doug Blake, if he didn't say yes to this opportunity. But at the end of the day, I want to give grace to God, because none of us would be here if he didn't allow his son to die on the cross for us to be here. And so that is he gave us an opportunity to get this thing right. All right. So guys, this morning, what I want to talk about really quick, and I'm gonna try my best to not hold you all long. But again, if I could get someone to get some assistance, because I need an armor bearer up here. I'm
with you, sis. Come on.
Appreciate you. I need an armor bearer who can help me mute these lines. I believe that this organization is a world-class organization, and so I don't want to be the only one on here muting these lines. I need the Holy Spirit to give me this information to you, and I don't want to be distracted by hitting this mute button. So if I can get some of the leaders, to allow to help me mute these lines, so I don't get distracted trying to mute them myself. All right. So let me see if I can. Let me just make some people some co-hosts. And when I see you up here, or if you're a leader, y'all know who y'all are. Raise your hand so I can recognize you, so I can go ahead and co-host you. All right. So guys, this morning, what I want to talk about this morning real quick is you've heard it all last week. Y'all hear it every week, right? We're talking about leads and whatnot. And so if you have a pen and paper, one thing I want you guys to do is write this down. If you got a pen and paper, if you don't have a pen and paper, I wouldn't understand, guys. And I'm telling you, coming to these meetings, it does changes the game for me. I'm always receiving some type of information, but write this down. This is going to be very, very important. The title of this presentation this morning is that the money don't move until I move. All right, write that down because that's going to be very, very important. I see okay, okay, Ali gonna help me with the co-host as well. Appreciate you, Mr. Ali. Go ahead and start muting these people that's gonna be cared that is getting out of line. But let me go again, write this down because then this is very, very important that the money does not move until I move. All right. And I think that sometimes we don't understand why we're in the situation that we're in currently is because the money don't move until we don't even understand how money is supposed to move. And just in case you did not know, guys, I was a C average C below student in school. Everybody, most people are smarter than me. Most of my classmates, it was like 400 of us were smarter than me. However, I earned a lot more money than them, so I guess it just don't matter. So but I don't understand like certain definitions, certain things, that I have to get clarity. I'm a clarity type of person. If I can understand it, then I can move differently. So money is an item or a medium of exchange that is accepted by people of goods and services. All right. Money is an item or a medium. Money is an item or a medium of exchange that is accepted by people of goods and services. So there's a saying, right? I need y'all. There's a saying that money makes the world go around. I see y'all. Okay, money makes the world. Y'all know we in church.
Wow.
Thank you.
Money make the world go
Money
round.
makes the world go around. Well, in order for the money goes around, money has to move, right? Money has to move. And so, before someone to log off right now and say, oh, this whole thing to be about money, guess what? Almost all of it is going to be about money, just not the whole thing, okay? Not the whole thing, just most of it, okay? And so I want to quickly talk to you guys about like leads, all right? And let me help you all out, guys. I am an introvert. I'm a situational introvert. I only talk in situations. People in real life scare me. People scare me. All right. I'm not I'm struggling with my words and making sure I come out right. But people like they literally scare me. I'm the one. I'm not going to sit there and just have a full-blown conversation with you. I don't go shopping because I don't want to run into anybody. I'm doing a self-checkout if I have to. Like, I'm not talking because people literally do scare me. And so, but I understand I have to be I'm a situational introvert. And if it wasn't for the leads, right, I would not know how to go through my phone and talk to my friends and family. Thank goodness for like the leads. And so I have been blessed to be a part of 2 companies, right? This is one of 2 companies. I've worked with the other one for 7 years, but I've been over here for a year. But I have been blessed to work with 2 companies that allow me to finance leads, right? To able to finance leads. Y'all know we got two different types of leads. One you can finance and one you can pay up front. And so, but over here and over there was no upfront cost for leads. So you can finance, and the company, Senior Life, is allowing you to finance leads without like a serious credit check. The company's allowing you to front your business. They're going to give you money to move your business, right? And so, and the reason why they do that because, Ron Paul, Senior Life, understand that the money doesn't move until you move. So let me help you guys out for trying to figure out how do you move the leads? How do you move the leads? And so, I know we got some new people over here or people who just only been here maybe a month or so and just don't quite understand how you're supposed to move the leads. So we hear every single morning. We even heard it yesterday. Mr. Doug Blake said that, you got to order 25 leads. How many of you all have heard that you got to order 25 leads? I need some. Okay. We know that we're supposed to order 25 leads, right? What we don't understand is that we think that every 25 leads is going to be a sale. Right? We think that, man, if I order 25 leads, I know I'm going to get something out of it because out of 25 leads, someone's going to buy. Well, and I know if you ran through the leads before, I hear some people unmuted. Guys, please do me a favor and make sure you're unmuted. I don't want to be the person up here telling you guys to mute, so we can make sure we keep the lines muted. Thank you so much. But so, even out of 25 leads, because I've been there, right? I was an agent. I started in 2015, of November 2015. I didn't really start working to January though, so that's a clue. That I got my leads, but I didn't start working in January. I don't know why they didn't fire me, but so I got my leads right, and they told me that out of 25 leads, that 5 are gonna buy. Well, I was in the field when I first started and transitioned over to the phones back in 2018. And man, guess what? I had ordered my 25 leads. And for some reason, out of those 25 leads, I ran through them, and I didn't get a sale out of those 25 leads. All right. So work with me. Out of 25 leads, understand that when you get 25 leads, it's not necessarily 25 leads, it's 25 presentations. I need 25 people to talk to. It's not I got 25 people. I have 25 people, and I know you guys done it. You got a 25 set of leads, and the first 10 people just didn't answer the phone. Something's not right. Why these people? Y'all been there before, right? I've called 25 people, and the first 15 people did not answer the phone. Something is going on. They done gave me a bad batch of leads. Like, what in the world is going on? But it's not 25. It's not that it's not the 25 people that the batch of leads. It's that I need to talk to 25 people. I need 25 decisions. Y'all understand that? It's not that I gotta go through and call 25 people. I need 25 people to give me a yes or a no. Right? You guys understand that I need 25 people, not to say that I'm interested. I need 25 people to get me a yes or a no. And out of those 25 people, those are my 5 that should close. And if you can understand that, man, I need 25 people so that I can close 5, your life will change. You will really truly understand this. But if you've called 25 people and nobody answered the phone or whatever the case may be that for a week, that means you got to order another batch of 25 leads. It doesn't mean that those things just didn't work. It's just at that time that they just did not answer the phone, or I didn't get 25 people to get me a yes or no. So again, you're not trying to sell 25 policies out of 25 people. You're not trying to sell 25 policies. What you're doing, you need 5 people to tell me yes or no. I need someone to make a decision. So how do you get 25 people to make a decision? Well, they have to be moved. They have to be moved. I have seen it over and over and over again, where I heard it over and over again, as well as seen it when I was in the field, man, that we will go through a presentation like we are cooking minute rice. I wouldn't understand, right? And so somebody please let me know, how long did it normally take you? How long should a presentation go? Someone, if you're on the phone, tell me how long should I'm not looking at the notes.
At least
45 minutes.
45 minutes to an hour.
45
minutes to an hour.
Okay, I heard 25 minutes to an hour. I heard
45 minutes to an hour.
45 or 25?
45.
45.
That's what 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. If you're not spending 45 minutes to an hour, you have not moved the client. What you're doing, you're just running through you're just going through the motions. I understand that when the Slice app goes up, you start presenting, but you don't realize what you're doing with the clients. You have to move them. Do y'all understand that when you're talking to these clients, do you know what product that you're selling? Do you know what type of business that you're in, right? Are we selling Mary Kay? No, are we selling cars? Are we selling knives, Melaleuca, vitamins? We're in the death business. And so when you're realizing, when you're talking to people, you're talking to them about death. You're talking to them about what their life is going to be like financially on their last day. And why would you go through 25 minutes to get a sale when we're talking about death? And what has helped me is that I put myself in situations. I gotta make sure these lines, y'all, if you can please do me a favor and make sure that you're looking down. I have to put myself in every situation of these clients. Otherwise, they don't move. So next time you're doing a presentation, you're not just going through the, oh, hey, how you doing? All right, why did you call? What was on your mind? So let me ask you these health questions real quick. So I got you qualified. And then let me tell you what you're gonna get. Bam, bam, bam. And then we go with the quotes, and you're like 20 minutes, you're like 15 minutes in, and the person said, man, I need to think about it. I need to think about it. Oh, that's all I wanted. Oh, I'm shopping around, only because you have not moved them. So how do you move them is that you have to ask the right questions. See, I don't ask questions that I'm not going that and just allow somebody to not give me the answer. Or if I ask you a question, you're gonna give me the answer unless I'm done talking to you. I want to know, because we'll ask questions and then we'll go on to the next question without even getting the answer that you need. The answer that you need, as well as want. So how do you move the people in order for your money to move? Well, one thing I like to ask these power questions. We have it, and I believe that some of you all need to just, either you memorize the script. If you have to, we memorize scripture verses on Sunday. Why are we not memorizing our work? This is the craft. So one thing that, I noticed that we don't ask the right questions in order for people to move. We don't talk to them a certain way in order for them to move. So these are a few power questions that you should ask your client in order for them to move. I'm gonna tell you what is not a power. I know some of y'all think it is, but I don't believe that a power question is, do you have insurance? Yes or no. That is not a power question. Power is something that makes things move. So asking a client, do you have a coverage? Do you have a whole life with a term policy? Is not a power question. Let me ask you about you nodding your head, Miss Marty. What's up, Miss Marty? Hey, Miss Marty. Nod your head. If I ask you, you've dealt with a passing, right, of your brother, right?
Yes.
Was it 2 years ago? Was it last year, 2 years ago?
No, you're about right. A little over 2 years ago.
Over 2 years ago. I know Miss Marty at my previous place. Miss Marty was on my team, I think, right? She's on my team. It's so funny. And so, I know, Miss Marty, if I ask you, do your brother, have a whole, like, even if he was here, I hope I'm not disrespecting you if I talk about this, right? You can let me.
Okay.
Okay, if I ask you, Miss Marty, your brother, does he have a whole life or a term policy? Would that move you?
It would move me to wonder whether he did, whether he had a whole life or a term, and what that was. Absolutely.
In present tense, would it move you if we're talking about taking a policy out on a loved one today? If I ask you, would they have a whole life or a term policy in place, would that just move you?
Yes.
Okay, she said yes, and I know why she said yes, because her of the passing. But so in reality, though, if a client is if a client is calling in, a prospect is calling in, and you're asking a question, well, do you have a whole life or term policy? They're just going to say a yes or no. But would you buy right then if I ask that question?
Would I buy right then?
Would you buy right? Would you be ready to buy if I ask you?
No.
Because that's not a power question.
Right.
It's not a power question. Let me tell you something that will move me into buying. We've heard clients, you guys let me know, because I want to make sure I'm not by myself, that I've gone through presentations, and the person said that, man, I'm on a fixed income, right? And I don't have enough money. I just need to get some affordable. And when it comes down to the price, and I tell you, man, it's gonna cost you $100, and they say they can't afford it. Have y'all heard people say, oh, I can't afford it, it's $100. I can't afford it. But why do they say they can't afford it? It's because they were not moved. They were not moved. Well, how do you move someone? It's getting them in their feelings. They have to feel something in order to move. And one of the power questions is, if you was to, God forbid, if you would have died yesterday, what type of position would you put your husband in today? And allow them to answer that question, and then ask them, and how does that make you feel?
Right.
How does that make you feel? See, sometimes you got to ask these questions in the beginning. Well, how long you been married? Guys, some of you all ask these questions. I ask these questions because I want to know who I'm dealing with. I want to know if the person they're married to is even as important as you would think or hope that they are. See, I've been married twice, divorced once. I can't get married again because my husband knows it's cheaper to keep me. I'm gonna take all your money. I'm taking all your money, keep the items. I'm gonna take all of it. I'm joking, but I'm not. All right. So, I understand if you're dealing with seniors, sometimes seniors are married more than once. They've married more than once. A spouse might have passed away, or someone, whatever, something might have happened, and then they tend to get remarried. Y'all, please don't get upset when I'm saying this, but this is the reality of it. The reality is sometimes you're asking, well, how long you've been married? Oh, I've been married for 5 years, right? And they're like 70 or 75, but their wife, the love of their life, and guys, please don't get upset. This is just hypothetical things, but this is reality as well. That, man, we could be married to somebody 5 years, but the love of our life passed away, like 5 years ago, but we've been with them 25 years. It's a possibility that they have a stronger love for someone they've been with for 25 plus years than somebody they probably been with for about 2 to 3 years. Some of y'all may not agree, but sometimes if you have been with someone, so I have to ask these questions, and then somebody would say, well, it's not that important. Well, why? Probably because you on your 5th wife. That might not be that important. And so then I got to ask you, okay, so I know sometimes the spouses, depending on what day it is or what time it is, you may not like your spouse that day. We go into children, right? I know that moves people. How many of y'all have children, right? My children moves me. And so you go into ask these questions. Well, God forbid something happens to you, what type of position would that put Kendall in? Your baby girl, Kendall, or your baby boy, John. And how does that make you feel? If they are silent, if they're getting emotional about it, at that point, the money don't matter. Because and what I mean by that is, and if they still give some kickback, I just want to get a complete understanding. I need to get clarity. I want to make sure I'm hearing this right, is that, are you telling me that, and sometimes you got to be a little firm with people because sometimes they don't move. Sometimes we need to step on people's hearts. We thinking we step on their toes. We need to step on their heart. So are you telling me that if you was to pass away, that your wife, Mary, is not worth $100? I need you to, I just got to make sure I'm hearing it right. Sometimes you got to step on people's hearts. And now if you don't get any emotion or reaction out of someone, they're not going to move. They're not going to move. So asking these power questions on a scale of 1 to 10, how important it is for you to protect your baby girl. Jessica, on a scale of 1 to 10. I want to know. I want to know the type of person I'm dealing with. If you're not giving me a 10, something is wrong. Either you don't have a relationship with them, which means I don't need to talk about Jessica anymore because Jessica doesn't move you. What moves you? So asking those two power questions, what type of position would that put them in, and how important it is on a scale of 1 to 10 to protect Jessica, or those are those two power questions that after you get them in an emotional state, after you get them in an emotional state, the money doesn't matter anymore. And so once you move, the company, they're going to give you a check and the company will transfer funds into your bank account because you have moved the client. And so, God, let me tell you why, when you talk to these clients, you have to give them an emotional state. You have to paint a picture to the client. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me so we can get ready to go, so I can show you how painting a picture that allows me to move in this so-called life, and allow me to move to move every day and get up and do this work that I don't actually like doing. I don't like selling insurance, right? But I know that I have been moved. I have been moved so that I don't go do the things that I was doing before and put me in a place that I was at. And so, guys, I was a single parent for over 15 years. A single parent. My first husband, he left me, for whatever case for me, don't even matter. But I was a single parent for 15 years and raising 3 kids at the time on my own, working a regular job Monday through Friday. We all worked regular jobs, and I worked a regular job Monday through Friday. I worked at a doctor's office. The lowest paid doctor there was earning $125,000 a year, and the highest income doctor was earning $250,000, and they paid me $9 an hour, working Monday through Friday. Now, $9 an hour was not enough, obviously, because I was raising 3 kids of my own, and I did literally everything. Some of y'all heard the story, but I did everything at this doctor's office. I answered the phones, I verified insurance, I pulled medical records, I transcribed reports, vital signs, I ran errands, I even cleaned up the office and watched these people kids. For those who know me, know I do not like children. I do not like children. I do not. I have so many of my own. But I did that, I did those things because I needed some extra funds. And it got to, a point that just working Monday through Friday and cleaning up the office and watching the kids was not enough. So I had to pull a second job. And I think that's the craziest thing, that people are working 2 jobs. And if you're a household of 2, I think that is crazy that 2 people have to work 2 jobs in order to pay the bills. And so working those 2 jobs, I was earning about $19,000 a year. Can you all agree with me that $19,000 a year with 3 kids as a single parent, that means I was broke. Oh, I was broke. I mean, my kids were living in the projects. We were on food stamps. We were on WIC, which is government food. And in Mississippi, we didn't have the WIC that you guys have in the North. We had to go to a building and get government block cheese and non-brand food. But we wasn't receiving government assistance because I was just lazy. My boss just said, Sheena, all you are deserving is $9 an hour, and if you don't like it, you can leave. But one day I had an emergency that came up, and I needed $500 that I did not have because I worked very hard. However, the place of employment that I was at, all I was going to get, the check was going to be the check. And so I had to go ask my parents if they could loan me $500. Now, my dad has worked at Frito-Lay for over 25 years. And at the time he couldn't even he couldn't loan me $500. Even working at a company for 25 years, he didn't even have $500. My mom in the school system for 25 years at the time, she didn't have $500. I asked a friend of mine at the time, she didn't have $500. You are the average of the 5 people you hang around. And so I had to go talk to my boss. Now, mind you, I was at this company for 5 years. Nobody was at this location. Nobody worked at this place for more than 6 months. It was a quick turnaround. I was there for 5+ years. And I told Dr. So-and-so my situation. And when I asked her, hey, I know I get paid in 2 days. I was just wondering if I can get my check early. And what she said to me was, you know what, Sheena? You're going to have to figure this out on your own. I won't help you. Not can't. I won't help you. And so I don't know if you guys ever been in a financial crisis, but I had to get that money that day. And because I didn't, they didn't give me the money. I had to leave work at that moment because instead of me ending up in prison, I decided to let me leave work in peace and let me just figure out how I'm gonna get this money. And so on my way home, I had to go pick up my little baby girl from daycare. How many of you all have kids? Wave your hand if you have kids. Y'all know my kids are my life. My kids move me. My kids are my life. But see, I get to that daycare and that daycare worker says, Sheena, your daughter is already gone. Somebody picked her up already. And there's only 2 people on this checkout list, was myself and my mom. And what she said to me was some man came up here and he had some papers. And unfortunately, by law, we had to let her go. See, my ex-husband was earning 6 figures at the time. And he found out I couldn't come up with $500 so that I can hire an attorney. So he took advantage of that because he had options. He had choices. And so he took and kidnapped my daughter, or our daughter at the time, and she was gone for literally 6+ months. Now imagine not knowing where your child is at for 6 months. Imagine not knowing where your daughter is at for 6 months. Not a phone call, not knowing if they're even alive. I had to get the FBI involved. Until one day some random person called me and said, hey, Sheena, your daughter is at this location. They didn't say my name. They said, hey, your daughter's at this location. And they hung up the phone. The phone that called in lasted 10 seconds. But I pulled up into this place and realized that my little baby girl was dropped off in an abandoned building by herself. No baby bag, no milk, crying on the top of her lungs. She didn't even look the same. All because her mother worked a comfortable job, but couldn't afford $500 to save her life. And I prayed to God right then and there that he has to change this situation. I had to pray to God. Something had to happen in order for me to move. Because if that situation, if nothing happened, then if nothing changes, then nothing changes. If I did not ask God to change something or move something, I would still have been in that uncomfortable, comfortable place. And so I asked God to give me something, and he gave me this opportunity called life insurance. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a people talkative type of person. I don't like, I don't like asking. I don't like selling anything. But I didn't like the fact that somebody had my child for more than 6 months because I didn't have $500 to my name. And so something had to move. And eventually, you know, I decided to, that one decision, right? That one situation that caused me to move, I went from earning $19,000 with those 2 jobs to start insurance and do $45,000 part-time. The second year was $69,000. On January of 2022, me and my husband was able to earn over $500,000 in the insurance industry in a year. But in order for me to, something had to move in order for the money to move. And I'm gonna do this one, I'm gonna give you this one last thing. I shared this at the conference, is that, you know, I'll be honest with you, I be quitting too. I be ready to quit this thing too. Even after earning over $500,000, I was ready to quit. As a matter of fact, I on January of this year, I transfer all the agents to my husband. I call him and my upline and tell him I quit. This year, I quit. Put all the agents under him. I'm out. But I understand that, Sheena, if you don't move, the money don't move. Well, not me earning the money, is that if I don't move, then that little girl on this screen that's ready to quit, she ain't gonna move until you move. And she can't earn the money until you move. You holding her up. And so I had another situation that happened a few months ago. I decided to start back. I said, all right, Sheena, get your mind right. You gotta move. But I had another situation that happened right at 3 months ago. It'll be 3 months this month. Where, guys, again, I was raised by my kids were raised by a single parents myself. My parents are still married. And, you know, my son, when he graduated, all he wanted to do was get a relationship with his dad. He has not had a relationship with his father, no strong relationship. It was no bad blood between him and I. But he wanted a relationship with his dad. And I know his dad was in the streets. It was one of the bad guys my parents told me to stay away from. And I don't like rules, so I'm very rebellious. And I do what I want to do. And so they told me to do something, I did the complete opposite. And so, you know, that caused, so he ended up staying with his dad. His dad was in the streets. And so that comes with, you are the product of your environment. So if he see his dad in the streets, he was going to be in the streets. My kids have never given me any trouble. Thank God, since they've been here. My oldest is 20, but he wanted to go and stay with his dad who was in the streets. And my other son who was with me at that time, my other son who was 18 at the time, he came into the kitchen one day and he looked distraught. Something happened. I'm like, Calvin, what's going on? He said that my brother's phone has stopped at a location and he's not answering the phone. I said, well, Calvin, maybe I don't know, he's playing, I don't know what happened, phone's dead, whatever the case may be. He said, no, Mom, he was driving and the car stopped. His location stopped. I said, well, Calvin, pull up the location. He said, I did. And the phone mapped out that his phone was under a bridge. And I said, well, Calvin, I don't know. And I'm trying to stay calm because he's like, what's going on? I'm trying to stay calm. I called his dad. He said, I went by there and the car is not there. And so I am 3 hours away from my son, from his dad. I'm trying to stay calm because like, okay, what, God, please don't. I'm not just strong as soldier. This will take me out because it's my oldest boy. And I called the hospital and they said that there's nothing has happened. They didn't have a young man to come out there. And then so it might have been 10 minutes later and I received a phone call from the sheriff. And the sheriff said there's been a shooting and somebody got shot. And they're in the emergency room. He said, I'll give you some information. I'll call you back when I found out more. And so I received a phone call from an unknown number, and it's my son on the phone. He said, Mom, I was in the car. The guy came up and he put a gun to my head. He told me to get out. And he started shooting. And unfortunately, for me, they didn't shoot him. They shot the person who was not even 10 inches away from him. He said, Mom, I'm ready to come home. I'm ready to come home, Mom. And it wasn't because, if it wasn't for this opportunity, if it wasn't for the opportunity to be able to move money, I was able to be able to, me and my husband was able to move our son 2 days later, because we had to get his car. It happened on a Wednesday. They had to get his car out the pound because the person robbed his vehicle. So they found this car and was able to put my son in a home 3 minutes away from where we live at today. And we live in a really, really good area because something had to move me in order for me to move. If I didn't move, I couldn't move the money. And sometimes we get in ourselves in situations where we're so stuck that nothing moves us. And because we don't move, the money is not able to move. That if you are complacent right now, if you're complacent, you're satisfied, nothing's moving, everything's just the same, everything's mundane. Oh, I'm just going to pick up the leads. I'm going to call the people. Oh, I'm just going to take some time off. I'm going to take a break. But until something moves you, the money will never move. And imagine the next time that you get a phone call, regardless of what it may be, it might be $500, it might be $10,000, it might be $50,000, because the company says as long as you move them a check, the money will move to you. And don't get yourself in a situation where somebody calls you and you're not able to make things move because you didn't move. And so unfortunately, the money does not move. And we tend to want to take for granted the opportunity that God has given us, because this happened by design. You just didn't show up for an interview just to be showing up. You were placed by here. And God gave you something so you can work with in order for you to be able to move. And some of y'all are standing still. And you wonder why the money is not moving. You wonder why that their income is not going up. You wonder why life is life right now. You wonder why things are not changing right now. You wonder why you're still in the same household right now. You wonder why you're not able to take your kids to a real vacation. You wonder why you can't go get a car right now. You wonder why your wife is getting on your nerves right now. You wonder why your husband ain't doing what he's supposed to do right now. You wonder why you can't go save somebody right now. You wonder why you can't go get the help that you need to get help, because you're not moved. Nothing moves you. And until it hits you, you will be in the situation that you're in. So this thing ain't about insurance. This is just the vehicle that God has given you to change your life. This is just the tool. The leads are just the tool to go see the people. The phone is just the tool to see the people. But the process is to move you so you can move the money, so you can move it to somebody else, so they can go do the exact same thing, so they can go help their family as well. So the next time you take a break, when you don't only work 2 hours one day, the next time you're ready to quit, the next time the thought of you saying, you know what, this is just not for me, Understand that you're in the right position to be able to move. Don't take it for granted. Take advantage of it. Because I never want you all to have a situation where you have a $500 emergency that you cannot take of your baby girl. Guys, I hope this was something that could change your life. I hope today you make a decision to move, make a decision to win. I hope you make a decision to keep going, guys, because the money don't move until you move. You guys have an amazing, amazing day. I apologize for going over. Y'all can come off mute. Y'all will get excited.
You're good, beautiful.
Thank you so much, Sheena.
Thank you, Sheena, for
Thank you
sharing.
so much.
Thank you, Sheena.
Thank you, Sheena. God bless you all.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have
God bless you.
Hashtag move.
Let's move, baby. Y'all, the money don't
Hashtag move. Sheena Michelle, you did your thing, baby. Love you.
love you.
Movement and good.
Have an amazing,
Amazing.
Let's see you.
God bless you, girl.
Let's
you.
Thank
move.
you.
Y'all, we gotta move the work. Let's move the work.
Let's do the damn thing. Let's do the damn
Thank
thing.
you.
Amazing day.
Thank you so much, Sheena. That was good.
Thank you, Sheena.
Time to do the damn thing. Make it happen. Real talk. Real talk.